This is a video on how to get good tension for your clients' quilts. Yes, this is what this is about, and I hope you go along with me and watch this video. Okay, thank you for see you in the tension. Tension is really important when you're doing quilts for other clients and making sure that your quilting is professional. And one of the main keys of seeing if your quilting is done well is if your tension is well. So before you go and work for clients, make sure you know how to deal with tension, which is a pain in the butt because tension can have several variables. Initially, I go ahead and wind as many bobbins as I want. One of the things that I love about my bobbin winder that I got at the Houston Quilt Show, I think 2 years ago, is when I started using this bobbin winder. It's an Innova bobbin winder. I noticed that my tension is better because the way it winds the bobbin, it winds it consistently across the bobbin itself. And I've noticed that because my winder is a better quality winder than the one I got when I purchased my gammal, also too better than the one that was on my gammal, I have recognized that my tension seems a lot better. It's more consistent because sometimes you can have tension that's really great in one area, and then as you go along the tension changes. A lot of that could be how your bobbin was wound. So it's well wound in one section and then it's either too tight or too loose when it's being pulled. And so having a great bobbin winder has been a really great factor for me having better quality quilting tension. Another thing I believe that is great for your tension, make sure you have Tova tension gauge. If you can get your gauges right in your bobbin on the bottom of your machine, then all you have to consider is changing the tension on the top of your machine. And if you know your tension at Superior Thread, they have a PDF on every single Longarm quilting machine that they check the tension, and they'll tell you exactly where to have your numbers on your Tova tension. They literally have a PDF on Superior Thread. So check them out. They have classes, they have tutorials on tension, and if you can get your bottom tension correct, then all you have to do is fiddle with the top tension. Several things that I do when I first start long arming for a work day. When the machine starts running, I make sure that the first couple stitches that the tension is done right at the top. Also be mindful to check the tension underneath. Be on top of it. Also too, one of the key ways of knowing if your tension is done well, learn to listen to the machine. I noticed that my rattling on my machine, when the tension is really bad, it has a different kind of sound. And when your machine is making a different sound, turn off the machine right away and check your tension. Also too, another thing that happens when your machine is working, when your bobbin is emptying out, the rattling on the bobbin case sounds different because it's rattling differently in the bobbin case. So listen to your machine and you'll get used to knowing, okay, it sounds different, and learn to kind of dial that in. The more you long arm on your quilting machine, the more you play with it, the more you know the different sounds. You become like a mechanic on long arm. I got a mirror, like a standing mirror, a long one that you put in the back door. Put one on the table and angle it with a couple of 2x4s. Angle it in such a way that you're able to look under the long arm. I do have lights that I have placed across that mirror to give me more illumination, but my lights are not that great, so they really don't work. So I end up having to use a rechargeable light, or I use the light on my cell phone to look at the tension underneath the long arm. It saves you from going on your knees, from crawling underneath. That mirror really helps. Allow your machine to sew a certain section, and if the sound is normal, then go on the back of your machine and check to see how the tension looks on the mirror. You kind of look down the mirror and you can see underneath it, and that's one of the best purchases I made, that door mirror. When you're rolling the quilt, be mindful to look across the panel of the bar as you're rolling it up on your pickup bar. Look at your tension as you're rolling it in the back of the quilt. Some areas your tension will look beautiful, and then you'll find that there's a certain section where the tension is different. Go through the bar and look at it, and then roll that pickup bar and check the tension again, and keep doing that. And kind of, you're verifying if the tension is the good quality that you want it to be. Now, if you don't do that, you can have a tension issue, and then you take it off the long arm, and then it's a pain to fix, and you kind of have to deal with it. This way, when you're rolling your fabric, you can look at your tension, and you know as you're rolling it section by section that your tension is great quality. The family's just loud. Just never give me any space to do my thing. I want to cut my hair. Cut my hair. It's hot in Texas. I don't even wear makeup anymore. I look old. Oh, thank you for watching.